Mauricio Silly Man exploring ways to prevent Fury versus Usyk controversy. What is this?
Push the weight in no flex. Flex alive is one in the six. Fit the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon. Motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I know some of you got short attention spans. And this might be a little long-winded, but I don't care because we've discussed things like this, but it bears repeating because this was the latest article I've seen from Boxing Scene. And I'll put this and a few other links in the description. And let us read. Let's get right into it. Mauricio Silly Man is looking to prevent ways of controversy, prevent different ways of, in other words, he's trying to prevent corruption in the possible corruption in Fury versus Usyk controversy. First of all, I didn't know there was a controversy. I didn't know. I just thought that this guy got a cut and he ain't show up to the fight. Today is February 19th. We're supposed to be talking about a new undisputed champion at heavyweight, and thanks to this guy pulling out of a fight again, we have no answer to that question. So let me read a little bit from the article. Mauricio Silly Man has proposed radical changes ahead of the undisputed heavyweight encounter between Tyson Fury and Usyk, hoping to prevent significant controversy. Wow. Is he saying that there's a potential robbery here? They didn't even step in the ring yet. Wow. Fury Usyk, who was supposed to meet for the first undisputed heavyweight encounter in almost 25 years on February 17th, will now clash on May 18th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, after Fury sustained a cut on his right eye following a sparring session. Shocker. Speaking of Sky Sports, the WBC president revealed that he hoped to increase the number of judges. Do you hear this? Increase the number of judges for the undisputed title. For the undisputed title fight, and from the traditional 3 judges to 5 or 6, but confirmed that the proposal was rejected by all parties associated with both fighters. Thank you. What is this dude doing? He wanted to add judges. Do you hear this? Wait a minute. This is a lot that this guy's doing for his WBC champion. This is a lot that this guy's doing for his WBC champion. This is a lot that this guy's doing for his WBC champion. This is a lot that this guy's doing for his WBC champion. Wow. He wants to add judges? And it was rejected. Matumbo. Wait. Hold on. The parties involved, they said,
not today.
wow, this guy's really doing this. He really requested this. Despite the refusal, Silly Man, because that's what I call him, despite the refusal, Silly Man confirmed he would still recommend increasing scoring officials for the contest. So wait a minute. All of this is confirming that he's afraid of corruption and controversy. Wow. All of this for your WBC champion. Wow. Are you afraid of corruption in Saudi? What are you afraid of? Boxing is a sport in which change is very difficult to get. Silly Man told Sky Sports, we're purists, traditionalists. We don't want changes. I will continue to make the proposal. Some like the idea, and some of the people in the decision-making process will see. We had a proposal to use 5 judges or 6 judges. However, it was not considered. It did not happen. I will still recommend it. Pause. Are y'all paying attention to this? Now look at the picture. That smile is very genuine. That a boy. Do you hear what he's doing for Tyson Fury? And Usyk's team was like, nah, F out of here. Do you hear this? This is hot off the press. Do you hear this? This is what he's doing for his product? Wow. That's the only intention, to make sure that there's no controversy. We have the biggest fight in 25 years in the heavyweight division, so we have to try to do our best. Holy crap. Holy crap. Look, do you hear this? Link will be in the description. Suleiman also wants to use video technology for the highly anticipated fight with a further aim of overruling incorrect calls by officials, such as missed headbutts. Do you hear this? Are you guys paying attention to this? In Fury versus Ngannou, when Fury was cut, the referee didn't see any action that made the cut and ruled it a punch. And then the British Boxing Board of Control and myself looked at the screen, the big screen on the stadium, and saw it was a headbutt. So we called it officially a headbutt, added the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman. But the idea of having the possibility of reviewing a major controversial happening inside the ring to make the right decision, the right call at the same time, is basically it. To have the absolute certainty that there will not be controversy in the fight of this magnitude is to do as such. It will be absolutely unacceptable. I'm going to put this link in the description. Okay, now, let's do this. First of all, you schmuck. I like how you talked about the cut sustained in the Ngannou fight. Ruled the headbutt, and you called it. I like that, right? But what you didn't mention is the blatant elbow that he hit Francis Ngannou upside his head with. Would you be using your film footage of that? The crowd saw it. There was a oh in the audience. Did you do that? Or were you stuffing your face with popcorn or falafel? A popcorn falafel wrap. Was you doing that? Did you miss that? Do I need to send you the small short video I did about that? Luckily, Ngannou wasn't cut. Fury hit him with a Muay Thai elbow. But that's just another day at the office for Ngannou. Why? Because he's an MMA fighter. He didn't look at the ref and say, yo, is that legal? Is that what we doing? Because if Ngannou hit him with a goddamn elbow, what do you think would have happened? What if Ngannou threw a leg kick? What do you think would have happened? This guy wants to add instant replay, cameras all over the place, extra judges, all of this for Tyson Fury. Meanwhile, and y'all know where I'm going, all we said was go get the gloves out of Sugar Hill's house, because that's what Sugar said they were, from Fury Wilder 3. Go get the gloves and investigate the gloves. And what did you say? All the fans were doing was trying to take away from a historic night of boxing. But meanwhile, when Labarbe got beat up by Togo, the female fighters, and it came out that Togo had something wrong with her gloves, this is what you did.
Hello, my name is Mauricio Suleiman, Executive Secretary of the WBC. We would like to announce that we have begun an investigation regarding the situation that happened in a female championship fight last weekend in Mexico. The fight was between Juarez and Rigo Togo from Japan, and there was a situation in which the gloves were tampered with. The WBC is gathering all the reports from the supervisors from both camps, and we will have a hearing with Togo's management to have them explain exactly what transpired during that situation of the gloves. Here's the evidence. It is a critical and alarming situation because the so-called skinning of gloves seems that happened for this fight. We are very concerned about this situation, and the WBC is gathering information regarding this happening not only in Mexico but other countries and other arenas. We are very concerned about the matter, and we will pay full attention to this situation, and we will inform accordingly of what happens after a hearing with Mr. Togo's manager. Thank you very much.
Those gloves was on his desk. And your former WBC champion, 10 title defenses, all we asked was for you to extend the same courtesy to him, and you didn't even do it. In fact, you insulted the fans. That's what you did. Tyson Fury has a criminal record. Seriously. Tyson Fury, he has skin gloves. He's detached thumbs on gloves. Ask Christian Hammer. He's worn bad gloves against John McDermott. We saw the bad gloves in the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 1, and we saw them in 2. What, you guys don't believe me? You have to pull out the pictures? There you go. That's a knuckle in the glove. Okay? Gloves aren't supposed to slip off your hand like that. They're manipulated like that. Hashtag pull me glove up. As the other cheater, Ricky Hatton, was told. Pull me glove up. So these are things that we've seen. Tyson Fury also was suspended. He's pulled out of fights. Ask Vladimir Klitschko. He pulled out the rematch, never ran it back. He's been suspended for drug use. Okay? Backdated suspensions, and you guys don't care about this. But here goes Mauricio Suleiman literally going to the bat for his guy. When it was Deontay Wilder, he wasn't given the same courtesy with 10 title defenses. And when we point these things out, we're racist, right? But I'm not done. I'm not done. Here's why I don't trust this guy. And by the way, sidebar, corruption in boxing is so disgusting that the Olympics is considering doing away with it. They're considering doing away with boxing. And I remember Mauricio Suleiman talking about, no, he's going to swing in and save the day. He's going to work with the commissions to try and save the sport of boxing in the Olympics. And of all people, this is the last guy that you want to be dealing with in reference to boxing, especially on an Olympic level. You don't trust this guy. You know why? Here we go. There you go. Bam. That's Mauricio Suleiman on the left. Don't know who that is in the middle, but on the right is Daniel Kinahan. Oh, yeah. We about to get funky with it right now. Yeah, we about to get real funky with it. Who's Daniel Kinahan? Just know that he's an Irish mobster who's still at large. And I want you to soak this picture up. Okay? Soak this picture up. And when he was warned about who this man was, he was warned, ladies and gentlemen. He said, this guy's bad news. He's the head of MTK Global. Y'all remember MTK Global? Y'all know this is not around. It was a boxing promotion company. Something like that. And this man was directly involved. And he was warned about this guy. You know what Mauricio Suleiman said? Let me read you a direct quote. He says, I am the president of the WBC. I am not Interpol or the police or someone who has to have a prejudice. This is what he told Boxing Scene. A prejudice. This guy's under surveillance for gangster-related activity. Drugs, guns, murder. And he referred to it as prejudice. He says, I went on a trip. I had numerous meetings with a large number of people and groups, and I was very happy with what I saw with the promotions and the great future that Dubai and the Middle East has with boxing. But regarding Daniel, I can't say anything bad about him. I have been with so many people all over the world, and I am not anyone to judge any one person. All I see is him representing fighters and doing the best for them. So I'm not interested in any conflict or what people have to say, or what people try to say, rather. All right, it says he also went to Istanbul and Albania and, whatever. He's been on there and, he was promoting the White and Fury fight back then. He also goes on to say, I'm not a detective, and I'm not looking into people's lives. This is a direct quote. I'm not a detective, and I'm not looking into people's lives. I just have to deal with what it is out there and what is put in front of the WBC. Is this a boss you want to work for, y'all? Who's not doing his due diligence on the person he's dealing with? He knows boxing is dirty, and I don't believe for a split second that he didn't know who Daniel Kinahan was. But I'll read further. There have been many people in many sports and many aspects in life who have been in legal troubles. Boxing has never had a scandal of fixing. Whoa. This is a direct quote, y'all. Boxing has never had a scandal of fixing fights. It's very clean. It's a very clean sport, and I'm not the one to judge. Can I read that again? There have been, oh my God, there have been people in many sports and many aspects of life who have been in legal troubles. Boxing has never had a scandal of fixing fights. It's a very clean sport, and I'm not one to judge. Let me stop right there. This guy's he's so full of crap, his eyes are brown. Are you kidding me? He really said this. This Mauricio silly man, right? This is the man. He just said this. But boxing is also so corrupt that the Olympics is willing to do away with it due to the corruption. And he said he was going to come in there and try and fix it and see what he can add to save it. And they were getting rid of it because of the corruption. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's a complete contradiction. Fixing fights. I'm sure Mauricio was around when Bob Arum's office got raided. I know Sean Gibbons was around. Sean Gibbons was there when that happened. You remember that? Didn't Bob Arum take the stand? And one of the things that he had to admit to was fixing fights or something of that nature? Shout out to the late, great Cameron Duncan when he said there's a no black fighter board in the Top Rank office. How they steer fighters away from certain black fighters. He admitted to that. He admitted to it. I have the audio. Stop it. Are you kidding me? Matter of fact, let's play the audio. This is Cameron Duncan referring to the Top Rank controversy.
I searched high and low to get your contact information, and I was talking. I'll tell you off air who it is. I won't say it on camera, but feel free to ask me. So I called the Mayweather gym, and they said, Fred, if I give you this number, you have to ask them this question. And I says, okay, what's the question? And they said, ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters? And they say, we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter. We don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth.
You're going to get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters.
Uh-huh.
And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, and again, it's just, He used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country. And I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, there is a thing about that, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, to be careful. So that's all.
How does that impact boxing? How does that, like the best fighting the best, the fans versus the business of boxing?
Well, they're not. That's when you're starting out and everything. Okay. So that's not affecting boxing at all. It's just, when you're building a fighter, you reach a point where the best have to fight the best.
Gotcha.
The only reason these fights aren't being made, Fred, is for politics and money and everything. It's not because of their color or who they are. Believe me, they want to fight each other and they want to make money. So those fights will happen. And it has nothing to do with race or anything else. It has to do with everybody getting along and making these fights happen. And, you gotta get along and you gotta make the fights happen. And right now there's fights that I know we'd all like to see. And it has nothing to do with anything as people. It just has to do with one promoter, says, I need this much, I want that much. And manager, trainer, everybody wants to make a certain amount of money.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Salute to Fred in the barbershop. That was when when Cameron Duncan was in barbershop conversations. And y'all needed to hear that. So when you say things like there's no racism in boxing, yes, absolutely there is. And rest in peace to Cameron Duncan. He died recently. All right. Rick Glasser disrespected him in his death. But salute to Cameron Duncan for keeping it 100% honest. So when I see guys like Mauricio Silly Man, say ridiculous things like what he said. He says that there's been no scandal of fixing fights. Man, Top Rank has been fixing fights. Cameron Duncan just confirmed there's a no black fighter board in the offices of Top Rank. Did Bob Arum not take the stand and admitted to fixing fights? Did he not do that? What is this guy talking about? Why are you volunteering your services to fix Olympic boxing if there's no corruption? He says here, boxing has never had a scandal of fixing fights. He just said it in this article right here. I'm gonna put it in the description. You're killing me here. What is this? He goes on to say, as I say, I deal with over 170 countries. I deal with 170 countries, and I only have empathy and goodwill for everyone. And when boxing is supported in good faith. Where's the good faith? You're not operating in good faith. He says, I really don't understand because I don't have any knowledge of any wrongdoing by Daniel or anyone. I don't judge. I don't have prejudice. I don't discriminate. I met him in Dubai. He was right there, and I don't know what to say. I always heard other people talk bad about others, and I don't what it says. I don't take that. I don't accept discrimination. He keeps saying it's discrimination against this guy. I don't accept discrimination, abuse of power, abuse of character. And I believe he has a relationship with Tyson Fury, and he's our heavyweight champion. So I'm not one to discriminate. He said it again. Or go against someone's character because of someone saying something. Don King was labeled as a criminal, and John Doe or any other person who has a prejudice is labeled by X, Y, or Z. I do not pay attention to, and I'm sorry. But to be very blunt, we do great things for the sport. We do great things every single day for all of the boxers in almost 60 years. Wait a minute. All right, listen, man. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can read this. Okay? He's full of crap. He's full of crap. In this article, I'll tell you, Kinahan is something of a messiah in boxing with links to the past, the present, to MTK and Pro Bellum. Just put those names in my channel. I've covered this. It was all nonsense. The guy's a proven criminal. A whole documentary about this dude. Bloodshed, weigh-ins getting shot up. And not to be outdone, after this, I think a week or so later, the American government put a $5 million sanction on his head, which means he's a man at large. Okay? Now, once that happened, what did he say? It was an innocent mistake. No, man. It was discrimination, remember? Mauricio Suleiman attended a boxing event in Dubai last month. It was pictured alongside Daniel Kinahan, and this picture right here, one of the leaders of the gang for whom a reward of $5 million was offered by the U.S. Treasury Department for information that would lead to its destruction or arrest and conviction. Okay? In this article, it says that Mauricio said, at no time did we have any relationship with Daniel Kinahan. I beg to differ. He says, I made an innocent mistake due to absolute ignorance of the situation. Oh, well, you're admitting that you was ignorant, but you were standing on your square in the other article. He says, in this way, I confirm that the WBC and all its members absolutely reject any action that is detrimental to the human beings, and will continue as always in a total compliance with the laws of all countries in the world. Well, how about that? How about that? That is not what you said in the other article. It sounded like you were standing on your square. And all the allegations against Daniel Kinahan were what? Discrimination. You said it several times. Discrimination. What are we discriminating against this Irish gangster? What do you mean? To discriminate. We were bullying him. Why? Because he's Irish? Discrimination. You're going to great lengths to protect this man. You want to add judges. You want to implement instant replay to make sure the right punches landed. And if there's an accidental headbutt, whether it's ruled a headbutt, an elbow, or punch, or you didn't say elbow because your guy is the only person that threw an elbow in the Francis Ngannou fight. I mean, the accidental headbutt that leads to a cut, but they say, okay, it's ruled a punch. You find out later it was a headbutt earlier. Fine, that happens a lot. But an elbow, I watched Tyson Fury hit Ngannou upside the head with an elbow. Luckily, there was no cut, but he threw it. Now, you didn't say anything about that. You was too busy stuffing your fat face with a falafel. Are you kidding me? That's what we doing? Now you want to prevent controversy with this guy? What do I tell y'all when people see value? See value in more. They see more value in one person than the other. Where's Teofimo Lopez with this? The second he doesn't get the nod because he doesn't get the job done, everybody's against him and they see more value in black fighters than him, with your insecure self. Look at what he's doing. Now, I've done read this stuff to you. Now look at this picture. How many pictures he got with this, like this with Deontay Wilder after 10 title defenses? How many pictures? Like I don't know. Look it up. Maybe I'll Google it. I'm sure there's some. I don't know. Now he want to add judges. Do y'all hear this? Did he really say there's no corruption in the sport? There's no fight fixing? And you're friends with Bob Arum? Let me play to you. Let me play for you what Teofimo Lopez said.
Hey, Devin Haney made a comment, trying to make whatever it is. But at the end of the day, Devin, you don't know. The WBC is not going to have you, even if you do the competition, they're not going to have you fight for the title. You can get mad at everything. I'm fighting for the title after this fight, for the IBF. And then after that, me and Loma for all four. And where are you? You're not going to get a shot, bro. And you don't know that, but we do. And that's what we did. I'm not going to fight more fights. So it is what it is, man. Talk what you got to talk, my dude. But at the end of the day, you're not becoming a world champion at 135.
That aged well. That was 2018, Teofimo Lopez. The WBC, he openly admitted that the WBC was working with him. He openly admitted that. He also turned around and threw the WBO under the bus because he was fighting on Top Rank, I believe. So that's the WBO. That's Mauricio Suleiman and Bob Arum. Everyone's in cahoots. They put some backing behind Teofimo Lopez, and all he had to do was beat Vasily Lomachenko, which he did. But then after that, all he had to do was win. After that, he goofed up. He lost to George Cambozo. That's what he did. He lost. So I brought that up to say this. See this man smiling next to Tyson Fury? He is not to be trusted. He is not to be trusted. Look at what he's doing or what he's trying to do. Never forget what he said. He don't believe that there's fixing fights. There's fights being fixed in boxing. But meanwhile, it's so bad in the Olympics, he wants to go try and save it. Go to my channel and look it up. I did a whole live on it. He wants to make sure that there's no controversy in Fury versus Usyk. He wants to add judging and instant replay. Labarabi Juarez was cheated by Togo with skin gloves. The gloves was on his desk. Fury cheated Deontay 3 damn times. And all he said after the second fight was go look at the gloves. He didn't do it. He said that we were trying to take away from a historic night of boxing. What is boxing in his eyes? I think he's telling us. And I know y'all got short attention spans, and that's all right. If you got through this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This isn't up for speculation. This is things that he did. This guy's dirty. That green belt is dirty. And it's tainted. And by the way, I didn't even bring up the franchise status. Did I? Where those belts at now? I'm sorry, where those status at now? Where'd it go? Man, y'all already know what time it is, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!